Hello, everyone, and welcome to Module 3. I hope you had a chance to catch your breath after our first 2 weeks of class. And by now, you've started building a very strong foundation in nursing informatics. And hopefully, you're beginning to realize that informatics is much more than computers or electronic health records. It's really about using the information and technology to improve your patient's care. This week, we're going to start connecting informatics to something every nurse cares deeply about, and that's quality, safety, and healthcare equity. So, the next two modules are some of my favorites because the topics are incredibly relevant to the healthcare environment that you'll be practicing in. We'll be looking at things like diverse populations and healthcare disparities, current trends, emerging technology, nursing informatic competencies, even things like cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, telehealth, and where is the future direction of this healthcare technology. And you're probably going to recognize many of these topics from your own clinical experience and or workplace. So our learning objectives are where we start looking at how healthcare technology affects quality and safety, how we recognize those technologies that can either reduce or contribute to health disparities, understanding current informatics competencies and standards, identifying these cybersecurity threats that are everywhere, and how do we evaluate emerging technologies that are going to continue to change our nursing practice. One thing I want you to keep in mind as you complete this module is that technology itself is never the goal. It's better patient care. That's the goal we're reaching for. Technology is simply one of the tools that we use to help us achieve this safer, high quality care. So let's talk about your readings. There's quite a few readings on this list, so don't panic when you look at the list, okay? You're not expected to memorize every detail from every article. Instead, I want you to read them with purpose, okay? When you're looking at these readings, ask yourself, how would this information improve patient care or patient safety? How could this reduce the healthcare disparities that we're seeing out there? And how is this going to affect your own practice? Those are the questions that I want you to use to guide your thinking throughout this module, and it'll make both of our assignments much easier for you to focus. All right? So these are all of our different readings. You're just going to pick a few to make sure, or you can look at the activities and then go back into the module and figure out which reading would be most helpful for you. So one of your assignments, assignment 1, is this informatics quality and safety case scenario. Okay, this is your major assignment for the week and it's worth 30 points. So instead of answering a simple question, I want you to imagine a realistic conversation. Kind of picture yourself at work. A fellow nurse discovers you're taking a nursing informatics course and says, "Hey, what does informatics have to do with quality and safety, anyways?" And that's your opportunity to teach. As a BSN nurse, you're a leader in our profession. So you're going to ask yourself, I'm going to choose one of the case scenario prompts and answer it thoughtfully. Notice I said one. You don't need to answer every question that's listed. Choose the topic that interests you the most or one that connects well with your own nursing experience. Some examples are going to include finding and evaluating evidence-based practice resources, selecting mobile apps for your clinical practice, telemedicine, data breaches and patient privacy, nursing ethics and informatics, or using data information knowledge wisdom framework during patient cares. Those are all excellent options. What I'm looking for is a strong submission that is your voice. This shouldn't sound like a textbook or AI. Explain the concepts the way you would explain them to another nurse. Support your ideas with scholarly evidence, meaning you need research and you need references, but don't just simply summarize article after article. Instead, tell me, what does the information actually mean for nursing practice? That's where the learning's going to happen. I want you to make those connections. Don't just tell me what telehealth is. Tell me how it improves patient outcomes. Don't just define evidence-based practice. Explain how it changes the clinical decision making that is happening that you see every day in your practice. Don't just describe privacy concerns. Discuss why protecting patient information is essential to maintaining trust and providing safe care. Always bring it back to your patient. All right? So, a few tips here. Don't forget to follow your APA formatting. Use your scholarly references and cite them as appropriate in APA format. Please proofread your submissions. One of the things that I have noticed in previous semesters is that the student will answer the question at a very surface level. And I encourage you to go one step further. Instead of asking yourself, what is this? Ask yourself, why? What does this mean? How does it affect us as nurses? How does it improve patient care, improve safety? Look for those deeper connections. That's how you're going to elevate your work into those higher points. And assignment number 2 is the discussion board. Okay? So you're going to need to complete your discussion board. How healthy is my country? So some of the best discussions happen during this particular activity, so I'm excited to read them. You're going to visit the country health ranking website that's linked here and look at the county that you're currently lived in. Maricopa County, other counties, and then you're going to examine the healthcare data and strengths and weaknesses exactly within that particular community. Then you're going to compare that with another county from another county of your choice. Finally, you're going to explore the what works for health section to identify strategies that could improve outcomes in the weaker areas that you identified when you did that comparison. What makes a strong discussion post? Well, remember that you have to think about, why might my county have these results? What social determinants of health might be contributing to those results? Are there differences in healthcare? Are there economic, educational, environmental factors? Is it just more difficult to get things to happen there? And then you compare those thoughts with the other county. And what lessons can be learned? How do other counties maintain a higher score? Don't forget to consider the possible solutions using the recommendation. That last part's often overlooked, and it's one of the most important pieces of this particular discussion. As always, your initial discussion post is due Wednesday, and then you do need to respond to at least 2 classmates by Sunday, making sure that those responses occur on 2 different days, just as you've been doing all the way through this program. As nurses, we're surrounded by technology every single day. We have EHRs, scanners, smart pumps, clinical decision supports, AI, patient porters, telehealth. The list just keeps getting longer and longer. But here's something that I hope you'll remember after this course is over. Technology doesn't replace critical thinking. It supports you. And the nurse is still the person making these clinical judgments. You're the one recognizing those subtle changes in patients and advocating for safe care and utilizing that technology appropriately. That's why nursing informatics has become such an important specialty. It's not about the computers, it's about improving patient outcomes. Thank you guys for all the hard work you've done so far. I've really enjoyed reading your assignments and your discussion posts, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how you connect informatics with quality safety and health equity this week. As always, if you have any questions, please don't wait until the last minute. Reach out through Canvas, send me an email, or let me know when you want to meet. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again in week 4.